What's up, you guys? I know I've been super quiet about what I've been. What are you yawning at? I know I've been super quiet about what I've been doing for the past few weeks. As you saw in my last video, if you did see it, I moved, I started a new job, so things have just been a little crazy, and I started this new diet, and that is what I want to talk to you guys about today. I've been on this new diet now for, well, it was 2 weeks, and then I actually stopped it the last 3 days about. The diet is called a ketogenic diet. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it before. I've heard the name tossed around, you know, since I've begun my fitness journey about 4 or 5 years ago. But I never researched it. I never looked into it. And I wasn't interested. I always enjoyed eating clean. Obviously, you guys have seen my recipes, my work, like, you know, it's just how I've always been. However, Scott, one of Scott's customers, one of his coworkers at work, was telling him how he lost like 100 pounds on this diet, and his wife lost 90, and like all this stuff. So of course, we're like super intrigued. We've both been into fitness. He's been into it like longer, probably double the time I have. But so we started doing a ton of research. So within like, I want to say 3 days, we did probably 20 or 30 hours of research combined. We were just really, you know, watching YouTube videos, reading articles, talking to friends that have done it, or, you know, acquaintances that are still doing it. And just getting as much information on this as we could before we decided to give it a try, because it is so different than the conventional diet. It's so different than eating clean. And it's quite frankly, it was pretty scary to start. And so the traditional diet is made up of typically, you know, everyone's macros are different. If you don't know what macros are, they are fats, your carbs, your proteins. I actually talked about it, I think, in like 2 other videos. It is so beautiful out today. Like, it's like 78 degrees and like a light breeze. Ah, it just feels so good. Anyway, the weather makes me really happy when it's nice out. So your typical diet is, you know, 40% protein, 40% carbs, 20% fats. Fats have kind of been labeled as the devil in our society. The ketogenic diet, however, is very different. It's extremely low carb. It's a lot of people relate to the Atkins diet. It's similar, but it has its own differences as well. The keto diet is about, you know, everything is a little different for everyone. About 75% fat, 20% protein, and 5% carbs. Now, and none of it's hair. However, none of the carbs are grains. You know, there are no breads, no rices, no oatmeal, no sweet potatoes, or anything like that you're typically eating in a clean diet, or just, you know, your regular American diet. They are just coming from, you know, excess carbs in certain products that you're eating, or, you know, vegetables have carbs too. However, there's your net carbs, which, so you have, say you're eating a strawberry, and a strawberry has 4 carbs in it. Well, actually, I think it has like 6. So say a strawberry has 6 carbs in it, but there's 2 grams of fiber in it. So basically, you subtract the fiber out, and that gets you your net carbs. So a strawberry would have 4 net carbs in it. I have so much to say, and I don't want to make this video like an hour long. Okay, so what is a ketogenic diet? Those are your macros when you're on it, essentially. What it is our bodies, you run for energy. We run on carbs, essentially. Then we run on protein, and then we run on fats. The ketogenic diet basically has you running on fats, and not excess fats that you're eating, but the fats that are actually already in your body, your stored fat. So basically what happens when you put your carbs super, super, super low, and I'm saying, like, I was at under 20 grams a day, and I think Scott was probably around the same, even maybe 15. And what that does is it forces your body, you know, you're not putting carbs in your body, so like your body's like, all right, where do I get energy? You know, you've grown up with all your energy come, I'm sorry, I'm so excited, I'm like blah, 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 like tripping over my own words. But you've grown up always getting your energy from carbohydrates. So what your body does when you take away those carbohydrates, it puts your body in this mode called ketosis. And essentially that means, like I said before, your body is running off your stored fats instead of carbs. Yay! Who doesn't want to get rid of their freaking fat? Especially now that summer's coming up. Now, what are the benefits of that? Obviously, the first benefit is losing body fat. Another thing that comes along with that is everyone's heard of water weight. A lot of times when you're on a new diet, you lose a lot of water weight. A lot of times that is because you're cutting your carbs. Well, why is that? That's because carbs are what holds on to that water in your body. Carbs are the reason that you have water retention. It's the reason people that compete on stage get rid of their carbs, 2-3 weeks beforehand, because it gets all that excess water out of there. So along with that, what happens is you'll lose a ton of water weight. I'm actually down, I weighed myself this morning 8 pounds in the last 17 days, and Scott's down about, he was 85, Scott's down 14 pounds in 17 days. So it's definitely getting a ton of water out of us. I highly do not believe that we lost really any fat. I don't know though. Scott looks like he's at work right now. I would have had him come on here too. But I've seen a huge difference in my body, in Scott's body as well. We both feel tighter and firmer. He has a ton of energy, which is another benefit of the keto diet. Keto for short, for ketosis. Basically, it's supposed to give you a ton of energy, but the weeks leading into getting in ketosis can be really rough on your body. And that is actually the reason that I decided to quit this diet, and so did Scott. However, our bodies, I don't know, our body's not listening to what we're saying. Okay, so what are some positive things about the keto diet? I got to eat a ton of bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? I love bacon. Lots of bacon, lots of cheese, high-fat foods. There's also a cleaner way to do it. Avocados, nuts, seeds, eating those too. It felt super, super weird eating all these bad foods on a clean diet and then jumping right into eating. I ate like a pack of bacon in a day. Like, it was so crazy. I was watching myself get thinner, get leaner, and I'm eating bacon and cheese and drinking Diet Coke, which actually is another thing I don't really believe in on this diet. Because this diet is actually, since it's no carb, it's obviously no sugar as well, because carbs turn into sugar. So there's no fruit on this diet, which was killer. Super, super killer for me. I'm craving fruit, craving it. Like, there was a lot of vegetables you couldn't really eat either. You could really only eat green vegetables, no carrots, I mean, I guess you could have some cauliflower sometimes, like no peppers, or it was just really hard. It was just almost like the way I've always learned to eat well and eat the right way, and taught everyone else and shared my knowledge with other people, was kind of just like thrown in my face, like, no, you're wrong. Carbs are the devil, blah, 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 blah. So it's just been a really weird experience. Another thing about keto is your brain really likes to run off of carbohydrates, but your brain actually loves to run off of fats, and it actually improves your brain function and actually solves a lot of diseases. People in diabetes, a lot of them go into ketosis because it's very beneficial for that. And other diseases, however, I really didn't research too much into that because that really wasn't the reason I was doing it. So if you do want to look into that, that's a huge benefit for any of you out there that do have any of these, unfortunate diseases or issues with your body. My final benefit of keto, from my experience, is that you gain a lot of energy. I don't think I felt that too much, but Scott was feeling it within like a week. He definitely adapted a lot quicker than I did. There's also called what is known as the keto flu. And so what the keto flu is, like I said, our whole lives we've been running off of carbohydrates for energy. And so to make that transition, it's a huge, huge, huge transition for your body to make. It's like, especially when you're going from eating like super clean, like Scott and I have been for so many years, and all of a sudden you're putting all these things in your body that you've always kept out of your body, except for maybe a cheat meal like here or there. Your body like freaks out. And he got really, really sick twice last week. He was throwing up. He had a headache, and he never gets headaches, whereas like I do all the time. And he just like wasn't feeling himself. You know, there were a bundle of problems. He recovered within like 2 days of them, and he actually did start a date before I did. And so I actually had those experiences this past, but today's Thursday. On Tuesday, I woke up feeling, you know, okay, and I got to work, I was fine, and then like within like 2 hours, just like bam, just deteriorating. Kept thinking I was gonna throw up. I was getting the shakes, I was freezing, I was sweating, I was having this crazy headache, I was feeling nauseous. It was, fortunately terrible. For me, it was one of my short days at work, so I got to leave around 3 o'clock. By the time I got home, it's about a 30-minute drive for me. This is crazy. I'm so sorry about this background noise. This guy is literally like driving up and down the street on this lawnmower. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. By the time I got home, I had the shakes. I get really, really hot when I sleep. I know some people get really cold, some people get really hot. Like every night, like I get really hot. I was freezing. I was like in socks and long pants and a sweatshirt with my hood up under all these blankets, and I was still just like shaking. I was so cold. And that was kind of when I was like, you know what, I'm not doing this. I understand that there's this process of getting into it, but the thing was, is like I really should have stayed at work longer. I haven't had any good workouts. My endurance has gone down, my strength has gone down, and I know that's all part of the process of transitioning. Now he's just on the sidewalk. I don't think he knows that lawnmower's going grass. Like, what are you doing, dude? What's he doing, Portia? What's he doing? So while I did see some pretty great results, and I feel really fit, I don't feel good. I miss fruit, I miss vegetables, I miss eating clean. And the thing is we were on this diet for 2 weeks before we like did anything that we weren't supposed to, like eat a little extra protein. That's another thing, is very moderate protein, like I showed you guys with the macros. So you actually have to be really careful not to go over your protein intake, which is again something that we're not used to, because we need a lot of protein to build our muscles as well as carbs. So I had a lot of good experiences on this, and I had a lot of bad experiences on it. All in all, I mean, no diet fits every single person. You know, we all have bodies that are so drastically different. I mean, even look at Scott and I. We were tracking our macros, which I told you guys before, like I don't do, but I wanted to do it to make sure I was doing everything the correct way. And you just look at our bodies and our differences. We both train, you know, 6-7 days a week. However, on this diet, we both, I mean, he was better about it than I was, but, I mean, I went did I go yesterday? I didn't go yesterday. I didn't go Tuesday because I was sick. Monday was like a terrible workout. So I was just so tired of like not getting in good workouts and feeling like crap. And like, it was like, I had like no endurance. I've never been a smoker, but I mean, people talk about all the time, like running out of breath really quickly. I wasn't even doing cardio. Like I'd be like lifting, I'd be like, I was like, this must be what it feels like, and it's terrible. If any of you out there smoke and you exercise, you should really stop. Oh, there he is driving on the street again. You should really stop, because your world is just so different when you're not breathing like that during your workout. It's just crazy. I was getting super lightheaded in the gym during every set, after every set. It was just really crazy. Another downfall of this is that, like I said, your carbohydrates hang on to your water weight. For those that you don't know what electrolytes are, they're magnesium, your potassium, your calcium, and I'm missing one. I'll write it in the comments. But those electrolytes are in your water. That's why when you see waters out there like with electrolytes, or like the sports drink that you should not drink, like Gatorade and Powerade and, you know, all those kind of things, they'll say like, oh, like with electrolytes for athletes. That's because when you sweat out electrolytes, you need those minerals in your body to function correctly and to feel at your best and to perform at your best. So when you're losing all this water weight during ketosis, when you're going low carb, you're losing all your electrolytes, and that's a big reason why you like feel like crap. We, however, did buy electrolytes. You can get them at any like GNC, Vitamin Shop, anything, you know, any vitamin store like that. And we were taking them, and it helped sometimes, it didn't help other times. And so what that meant is you had to take in a ton of sodium, a ton of salt to retain your water, since your carbohydrates weren't doing it anymore. And that just seemed very backwards for me. I come from a family that has, you know, heart disease issues, and, you know, cholesterol problems, high blood pressure, and I just don't believe that this diet is right for everyone. However, if you do some research and you look it up, you'll find that almost no one out there that is in ketosis complains about it, because everyone has this great experience once their body actually transitions into ketosis. However, and then if you cheat on, say, like, oh, you have, you know, a wedding or something, and you want to, I don't know, have their rice, because, yum, that's what I miss the most, besides fruit. Basically all it does is knock your body out of ketosis, and then it takes another day or 2 or 3, I don't know, to get back into ketosis and to get your body back into, you know, you got to burn off basically your carbohydrates, and so your body can start to burn your stored body fat as its energy. So the way you can tell that you're in ketosis or not, and I have read and heard from people that have been doing this for, you know, over a year, that it's not super accurate, obviously, but they actually have urine tests to measure the ketone levels in your body. You know what? I'm gonna get it for you guys. All right, the dog thinks it's a treat. It's not a treat, Portia. You want ketone test strips? I don't think you're in ketosis. Okay, so basically this is your test strip like guide. This is like $6 or $7 at Walmart, and it comes with 50 strips, so, you know, it's not super expensive. So this is what it looks like. It has that little peak square on the end right there. And so that square is this color right here, which is neutral. That means you are not in ketosis. And so the higher color that you get, that's the more you're in ketosis. I got to about this color at one point. Scott got all the way up to here. And then, you know, at one point we were all the way back down. He was completely knocked out of it at one point, and I was like right in between right here. And it was just very frustrating. And again, I know it's not super accurate, but, you know, accurate enough. And I just felt like I was feeling really crappy, and it just didn't seem to be worth it to me. I do, however, would recommend this to a lot of people, depending on their... She's trying to eat a bee. Don't eat the bees, they're already dying, Portia. Save the bees! Save the bees! So yeah, so basically that's where we were at. It was very frustrating, and you know, I would definitely still recommend this to some people, like I said, depending on their dieting habits. However, I truly do think that eating clean is the best way to go. But what's really cool, that being said, is we both tested our ketone strips this morning. We both started adding a little bit of carbs into our diet. Today I've had about 40 grams, which is still very low carbs. I still actually, I'll get into that for a second, but he's keeping low carbs too. What we did though is we kind of lessened our fat, and we've upped our protein again. I haven't had a protein shake in like almost 3 weeks, and it was so delicious. So that was really awesome. I got Chipotle today, so good. Had to get single rice though, not double rice, but it's okay. But anyway, what's really weird is we both tested this today. He was on the darkest strip and I'm on the second darkest. So we decided that we're not going to do this diet anymore, and now we're like fully in it. So I'm not really sure what's going on, but it's now there cool. Are some things that we both want to adapt and that we learned from the ketogenic diet that we want to incorporate into into eating clean. The first one is that the low carb thing. I learned a lot about carbohydrates and about the food industry. Like I said, I'm always learning. I'm always researching. I live for this stuff. I love it. I love to learn about it. And if you guys have Netflix, which most of you probably do, you should check out this documentary. It's called Fed Up. Scott and I watched this on the first night we started doing our research, and it's just very, very eye-opening about the sugar industry, which you guys know how against sugar I am, even though I love it. There's a reason you love it, and there's a reason that basically what it was saying is so many people are getting more health conscious nowadays. You know, everyone's trying to eat low fat and less sodium and eat better, and yet we're at our highest obesity rates. Something doesn't add up, right? So this kind of goes into the whole business of it, and the products that are out there on the market, and the scandals that have happened, you know, even back into like the 50s. Making the market what it is now. So back to what I was saying, we are going to keep the low carbs into our diet, and what that means is I don't know what exactly his plan is, so I kind of wish he was here to talk about it, but I know my plan is to eat about 50 grams of carbs a day and to not eat them at night. And the reason of that is because your body needs time to digest and break down food, and you really shouldn't be eating before you go to bed at night. I know I'm like a huge culprit of that. I love snacking while I'm watching TV at night. Friends every night, mostly Shark Tank too. But yeah, so we both want to adapt the low carbs into our clean diets, and you know, keep them carbs in the morning. He had oats this morning in his shake. I had, you know, my brown rice from Chipotle. And another thing I want to adapt, and I'm not sure if he's doing this or not, and I think he's doing some kind of version of it, is intermittent fasting, which I'll get into on another video. Basically what that is I'm doing a 16-8 split, which is I started doing during the keto diet to speed up the process. And what that means is fasting, not eating, for 16 hours of the day, and then eating all your meals within that 8 hours. So if you think of the reason it's called breakfast is because you split it up, it's break fast. You're breaking the fast, you know, you weren't eating when you were sleeping all night, hopefully 8 hours for full muscle recovery. And then one last thing is you can't build muscle on keto. And the reason is you do need carbs to build muscle. Sorry, it like looks weird in the video, but I'm just like leaning on the chair. You need carbs to build muscle, and Scott and I both, we want to like lean bulk, and we want to build muscle, and keto is really great for people that are just looking to lose fat and have trouble getting that controlled stuff out of their diet. They can't let go of cheese, they can't let go of, you know, these meats, they can't let go of diet sodas, which I still don't think you should have, but that again is for another video. So I hope this cleared a lot of things up for you guys. If you have any questions, I will answer them for you. Just write in the comments all over the place today. Write in the comments. I'll be sure to answer any questions that you guys have. You can also reach out to me and email me. I do meal yeah, I was acting like an adult, Sarah. I do meal plans. They're customized. If you just email me, we can get the ball rolling for that. So I'll put all that in the comments below. And please give this video a thumbs up if you learned something from it, if you like the video, if you want to see more explanations on things like this. And subscribe if you haven't, because lots of workouts are coming. I'm going to continue the product in my pantry now, and that was the reason I wasn't doing it, was because I was kind of eating like things I wasn't normally eating. Like I wasn't going to be like, oh yeah, eat all this cheese, because I don't do that. I did do that for 2 weeks. Alright guys, well thank you so much for waiting this out for me. I know I kept kind of posting it on Instagram being like, I'm doing this diet but I'm not telling you about it. So here's your explanation. I'm sorry it took so long, but I just wanted to see if I was going to stick with it or not. So thanks for the support, guys.